Good morning, Million Mom Movement community. I'm so excited to be here with you today. My name is Stephanie Dawn. I'm a mom of 2 teenage boys, and I am the chair of the Million Mom Movement. I'm also a Blue Diamond with Purium Health Products, which I'm super proud about, and I'm so excited to be in this community, to be feeling your love and your support. We have built something amazing over the last 6 months since we started Fierce Fridays, and I'm so grateful that you're here. If you know someone that you'd like to be here with us, please go ahead and text them now and invite them to join us, because we have an amazing here that we've created for you. We've elongated Fierce Fridays from a half hour to an hour, and it used to be all about activism, and we still are all, you know, the council is comprised of moms on a mission. We are women who are taking action in our day-to-day lives and within our Purium businesses to change the world, to get toxins and poisons out of food. So that's my, something that I care deeply about, and I have for time. But we're broadening what we're doing here on Fierce Fridays to be incorporating far more of the topics and issues that we care deeply about. So we're going to be seeing some changes happening here, but we want to create value for you. That is our highest intention, is to create value. This becomes a very dynamic, positive, and fierce place for you to be yourself, be all you are. You're very much needed. So we are the Million Mom Movement. That's our hashtag. We are the Million Mom Movement. You, me, all of us. We can't do it without you. So I just want to talk a little bit about the history of Fierce Friday, and then we're going to have a couple of announcements, and then we're going to be interviewing Annie Ybarra, who is a long friend of mine, and she's been on the journey the last couple years, giving birth to her first baby. And then we're going to be having Jodi Parker, who's a fellow council member of the Million Mom Movement Council, come on and talk with us all about what you can be doing in your own life during these very unusual times in terms of your activism. So before we get into all that, though, I want to talk a little bit about the history of Fierce Friday. So who are familiar with what we have with Purium Health Products, and this is a space for everyone. This is not just a space for Purium brand partners. It's also a space for you to invite your grandparents, your parents, your friends, your aunts and uncles, your nieces, your nephews. It's really an open forum for all of us to be joining together to learn about what's going on in the world in regards to our food. So as grateful as I was 6 months ago for this amazing product that we have, which removes glyphosate out of the body, the clinical trials have showed that, and I've seen testimony after testimony of individuals who have benefited from that product. As a woman, as an activist, I was deeply concerned because my own child had been poisoned by me and by General Mills, the makers of Cheerios. I'd been giving him Cheerios for the first 8 years of his life. Little did I know that I was giving him toxic food. So I gave him the Biomedic, and my boy came back to himself. He had been, he'd had a compromised gut for most of his 8 years. And I just, how it is with Zephyr. Well, no, that's not how it is with Zephyr. Zephyr's a very healthy boy now, and I'm deeply grateful to Biomedic. But is that moms and dads and caregivers and babysitters and grandparents are giving, and yes, even eating themselves, Cheerios and Honey Nut Cheerios every single day. And what we know about Cheerios is back in 2016, a report that was done by the detoxproject.org and Food Democracy Now! That determined that Cheerios had the highest parts per billion, over 1,000 parts per billion of glyphosate on them. So I wanted to months ago via this Fierce Friday platform to really help us all make the connection between how we're feeling and what we're eating. So those were our humble beginnings. And since then, we've gone on to create a petition that is asking General Mills to stop putting glyphosate on oats, on any grains that they farm. Stop purchasing oats that have glyphosate on them. Go glyphosate free. Go organic. So for the Naiva or Rebecca, I'm sorry, I can't see you all because I'm on my phone. Ordinarily, I can see you all. Please go ahead and put the link to our petition in the chat if you would. I'd really appreciate that. We were doing a letter writing campaign initially, and now we've segued into a petition asking General Mills. And I'm also working with one woman in our community to actually get a meeting with General Mills, because if there's one thing you know about me, it's like I don't stop until I'm satisfied. And currently I am not satisfied with what's going on in terms of how General Mills responded to me and all of us who wrote letters. They've just wrote us back form letters, you know, didn't address me by name. And so we moms, we're the ones that we've been waiting for, right? Like there's no Avengers that are going to come down from the sky, you know, like we're the Avengers, right? We're the Holistic Justice League. We're the agents of change who are actively out in the community having conversations about glyphosate toxicity and many other things that are, you know, there's so many other herbicides and pesticides that are on our food. Glyphosate's just the beginning, but it is the most used herbicide on our food in the world. So I wanted you to know about that petition. I also want you to know about our scholarships. And I wondered if one of the council would be willing to come on and share a little bit about our scholarships. I can't see who's on right now, but if one of you would just come off mute and share, I would really love to hear your voice.
Hi, Stephanie. Rebecca Johns here in Southeast Michigan, and I am happy to talk about the scholarship program.
Thank you so much, Rebecca, for just popping on. Woohoo!
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on my cell phone too, so I don't know who can see me and who I can see. I understand. So, you know, the Million Mom movement is all about empowerment, and not just empowerment for you as consumers, but for the economic development. And as you know, Purium Health Products has a great opportunity, what we call being a brand partner, being someone who has what I like to relate to as like a little micro franchise of the business that you can make your own to create unlimited income that is sustainable and long-term. As much as you'd like to build, you have the opportunity. And this opportunity is fantastic because the Million Mom movement has a scholarship program where you can apply and be interviewed to potentially be selected to receive the business launch kit of that brand partnership at no cost, and that's normally $199. And you also, included in the scholarship, receive $2,500 worth of organic superfoods over 6 months for you and your family. A huge opportunity to reset metabolism, repair gut health, be empowered on a cellular level, and get infused a full body immersion of organic non-GMO superfoods. This is a huge opportunity for nutrition as well as income. And we don't leave you just stranded with that. With the receipt of a scholarship, you are being supported and mentored personally in your personal development, because let's face it, mindset matters. Being empowered in business takes a particular mindset and posture. Some of us come in with some of that. Some of us develop it while we're here. This is on the job training. I'm seeing people talk about they're on here, they're scholarship recipients. If you're a scholarship recipient, drop a 1 down there and let us know who you are. We love you so much, because these are people who've said, listen, I am taking a stand for myself and my life and my community. The Million Mom movement, 1,000 moms, dads, and caregivers in 100 cities, helping 10 families eat healthier and be wealthier. So if you or someone you know could possibly be someone that is interested in this opportunity, drop a little note, say that's me, and we will reach out to you so that we can support you in that process. Stephanie, I hope that's what you wanted to hear.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Rebecca. I am so proud of our scholarships Purium is so generous. Oh my gosh. So yeah, and in addition to, so for the month of August, we also have 4 more diversity scholarships for Black families. So I want you to know, if you know families that are African American, we have 4, ordinarily we just have 4 scholarships. We now have 8 scholarships for the month of August. So if you know someone that is in need, take them to Million Mom Movement.info scholarships. Maybe one of you could put that in the chat box. That'd be awesome. And apply. All right. So without further ado, I want to bring on Annie Ybarra. Let me see if I can see you here, Annie. There she is. There's a mom on a mission herself right there. Hello and welcome.
Hello.
I just can't hear you yet.
Thank you
Hey,
for
wonderful.
having us.
Got your daughter there. So welcome to Friday, Annie.
Thank you. I'm so grateful to be here. Gosh, it's such a inspiration what you're doing, leading us in this way, Stephanie. And you know, it's really, really important what we're doing, this work. It's, you know, couldn't be anything more important, honestly, in some ways.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for being here. I've been wanting to interview you for a long time. And, you know, I just had the amazing experience of being on the lifestyle call with your love 2 weeks ago, I think it was. And I was, you know, it was all about the Purium mama and the Purium baby. And I was like, who better to interview you, Annie, who has just been through this experience of preparing your body for pregnancy, giving birth to your beautiful Camila, who has joined us here today. Hello, angel baby. Hello from your Auntie Steffi. Hi. And now you're in the postpartum term. And in honor of World Breastfeeding Month, which is happening right now in the month of August, I really just wanted to drop in with you, Annie, and talk with you about your journey. And maybe we could start even before Steve Renila. Would you be?
Say bye. Mama times. Sorry, Steph. Will you ask me that one more time?
Yeah, I'd love for you to share a little bit about your experience. Will you talk about preconception, where you were at nutritionally pre-conception? I mean, I know some things about you. We've known each other for a while, but I really want to hear it from your mouth about what that was like in preparing your body for conception.
Yes. Well, you know, we really wanted to just keep things simple, but at the same time had some really high priorities of making sure that we didn't have any glyphosate in my body while Mila was growing in there. We wanted to make sure we didn't have any heavy metals or any toxins in my body while Mila was growing. So biomedic was a really, really huge importance and played a big role, I think, in my nutrition. But I really relied also on the core 4. It's, you know, really beautiful how well the core 4 supports a pregnant mama. You don't really have to do anything too fancy besides really relying on these 4 products, and it really took very good care of Neela and I. To break it down a little bit, the shake, you know, provides the folate from all the greens that you're getting in there, provides a lot of good folate for your growing babe. And rice bran solubles were really helpful in getting the fats and the proteins that I was going to be needing while I was growing Mila. And morning sickness was pretty rough on me in my first trimester. I'm really prone to nausea and upset stomach. My whole life, I just like am really easily get nauseated. It's like one of the first things that affects my body when I'm out of whack. So I was somewhat certain that I'd be experiencing morning sickness when I was in my pregnancy. And the rice bran solubles do help a lot with the nausea, and it was just a lifesaver since I was experiencing so much, not really morning sickness, just all day sickness. You guys all probably know how that goes. I wasn't able to eat like anything, and that really freaked me out, being a first time mom. Like, oh my gosh, am I getting enough for the baby to grow? And I don't want to not be putting anything in, and how's the baby gonna grow? And I'm just throwing everything up. It was great to have the green shake, to be able to just drink that. It settled my stomach a lot. It was the one thing that I could really take down. And the more rice bran solubles, the more easy it was for me to take down. I didn't make anything too fancy. I did have a lot of water in it. But yeah, the shake was really, really good for me. I also used it to put my spirulina in. I didn't take a prenatal from the doctors. I just wasn't really comfortable with the ones that were offered to me. And I didn't find one that I wasn't afraid wasn't going to cause constipation for me. You know, first time pregnant or just any pregnancy in general, there's plenty of things to like worry about and be uncomfortable with. And I didn't want my digestion to be like constipation to be one of them. So I was really relying on my spirulina to replace the prenatals and avoid that digestion. Chlorella, I know it's, I've heard that for some people, depending on your experience with already detoxing and stuff in your body, I personally took 30 chlorella a day in my, I think all the way up until the last few months maybe of my pregnancy, maybe the last trimester. But I really relied on my chlorella a lot to make sure I was pulling out heavy metals. And to also, it's really good for helping Mila to grow too. Not just like the removing of the metals, but chlorella is a really good agent to helping cells, sorry, mom brain, be able to develop properly. And let's see. Oh, apothecary, guys. So it's kind of hard to avoid not being able to sleep, you know, especially in your third trimester, being so uncomfortable. So apothecary, I couldn't live without. I was like, I traveled a lot while we were pregnant, and I always would be like, Dave, babe, apothecary, please make sure we have the apothecary. As soon as we got to anywhere we're going, did you get the apothecary out? Is it in the fridge? It was like the way, if I was gonna get sleep, it magnified it. So like if I only got 45 minutes, it could feel like I at least got a few hours or 5 hours. It really, really helped me be able to feel like whatever I got was worth it. And it really helped me in not feeling so inflamed. I never had a issue with my feet being super swollen. I obviously felt like big, you know, but I never felt like a huge weight on me, and I never felt like big. It just felt like, wow, my belly's growing. So I think that had a lot to do with it. And I think it was really good for my skin as well. I've been really lucky. I didn't have any stretch marks after my pregnancy. And I think apothecary had a lot to do with that, as well as aminos. That brings in the super amigos, we like to call them. I took a lot of aminos. I took about 5 to 10 a day. when I was pregnant. And those were really, really good for, you know, a lot of people ask me how I was able to feel so strong and really quickly come back to the similar shape that I was in pre-pregnancy. And it was really about taking care of my body during my pregnancy, having so many aminos. It really kept my muscle tone while I was pregnant, so that when I was done being pregnant, my muscle tone was all still there, even though I didn't work out while I was pregnant at all. So I just, you know, didn't feel called to. I walked around a lot. I'm pregnant on the Oasis, which has a lot of walking space, but I didn't really do any workout or anything that would necessarily help me to keep any muscle tone. And so I was really grateful that when I was done being pregnant, it was all still there. And I fully attribute that to the aminos. Not to mention what they do for a growing baby. They are really good for muscle and brain building for babies. Neela, although she was born a little bit early, she came out really strong, all her vitals extremely strong, and you know, her brain function top notch. And I think that she had a lot of support in building her brain with those. And let's see. That's the apothecary shake, aminos, that's the core 4, and biomedic, yes. The MVP for me. So happened a little bit sooner, and although I wanted to spend quite a few months removing toxins and metals from my body before getting pregnant, I had just the time to, you know, do it while I was pregnant. And it was really, really vital and important to me that I was removing any form of glyphosate from my body. And in preview to Neela, yes, I knew about glyphosate, and I knew that eating organic was important, but I did it selectively. I don't know, it's so funny how we are willing to, you know, not take as high care of ourselves, but when our babies come in the picture, it's like, no go. Like, I'm not touching non-organic food. That poison will not be entering my baby. So
Right.
I really went on a really strict organic diet. And the biomedic also, if you don't know, Dave and I and our dear sister friend Tirza run a nonprofit for children with autism. And while I was pregnant, I was doing a lot of research on glyphosate and how it affects the gut and development in pregnancy. And so I was learning it at the time for kids with autism, but I applied it to my own body, knowing what glyphosate and the gut and development can do for the brain and different things. I was really, really, really wanting to make sure that I didn't let glyphosate, any toxic things, affect Neela's gut. And I knew that I was building Neela's gut with my gut. So biomedic was like, okay, I have to make sure I'm healing my gut from anything that's in there, because I'm building Neela's gut. And Neela's gut is going to affect all of her development and all of her brain workings and everything. So it was just kind of biomedic. Yeah, I don't want to go on too long because I know that I only have so much time, but yeah, the core 4, and let's see, I did coconut oil a lot on my belly to avoid stretch marks, but again, I think that the aminos really, really were the key player with that. And I don't know. Do you have another question?
Yeah, I do, as a matter of fact. But first, I just want to say I didn't know all that about the rice bran solubles. So I'm really glad to hear you share about that. And I think probably many people on here that are appreciating the more in-depth dive here of how our products have supported your pregnancy. I'm curious now, Annie, you are a year postpartum, or how long?
Yeah, 15 months on the 25th.
Yay. So, how has postpartum life been for you, and has anything changed in terms of your protocol, your diet? I'm curious.
Not too much has changed. I really still am a core 4 freak. It's all about the core 4 for me every day. I can't miss it. And I also really used the barley greens a lot in the beginning of my pregnancy to make sure that I was producing enough milk. I never experienced a single problem with producing milk. Neela was eating every 2 hours and is still nursing now. She obviously doesn't eat quite as often. She's eating a lot of solids now. But her main food source is my milk. But we've never had any trouble with production of milk, and yeah, she really didn't have any solids her entire first year. I really wasn't introducing much, maybe some fruits here and there, but that was more for her sensory and like taste delight, not really for like to get nutrition, because she was getting everything from me. So yeah, right. That's why the core 4 was really important, because I knew that she was getting so much from me. And there's so much that comes from being a new mom, or just giving birth. It doesn't have to be a new mom to a second or third or fourth or fifth or whatever number. And there's so much to take on, and it's so easy to feel guilty and have so many different worries about everything. That was one of my big challenges. I have worked with kids for a really long time, and worked with a lot of moms. So I had a lot of tips and foresights, I thought, to like what mom life would be. But the one thing that I didn't and wasn't aware of, and nobody really talked to me about, was the amount of fear and sudden stress that would be over me all the time about everything. I just have this precious life, and I don't want anything to happen to it. And so the last thing that you need to worry about is, am I drinking enough water? Am I eating enough? Am I doing enough? And the last thing you need to guilt yourself is about, like, I'm not taking good enough care of myself, so I can't take good enough care of the baby. And you're doing so much for the baby that it's hard to take care of yourself. And I just found like it was such a godsend and such a ease of life to be able to just have a shake and know that I was really so fully taken care of, and have my aminos. That's like, pop those in my mouth, drink some water, which I already needed. I just kept those by my bedside. And it's so easy for the person, Dave is Neela's dada, and it was such a blessing the way that he took care of Neela and I, even though he was still running this company. Most dads get the paternity leave, or whatever it's called. Dave was still working full time running this company, and he still took extremely good care of Neela and I. And I'm grateful that he was able to just at times be able to put some green juice and some water in a cup and bring it over to his honey and then get back to work. So whether it's you making it or somebody else, it's a really great ease to have those things to take care of you. And again, when it comes to the sleep, apothecary, oh my God, you aren't sleeping when you're a mom, like if you're nursing, or even probably, honestly, if you are doing bottle feeding, I imagine that it could probably be harder, because you have to get up and get the bottle ready, and it's like a lot more taking of your sleep than just nursing and sleeping with the baby. So you need apothecary to make sure you can get back to sleep after you've gotten up and got your body all moving and everything, So apothecary, again, is really, really key. And Biomedic, again, to just continue, you know, we can't be perfect. If sometimes I eat not organic because it happens, I like to be able to know that I'm not like just putting glyphosate into my baby's body. It's like, okay, well, we have something that's going to still be removing this. Her gut is constantly being taken care of. It's okay if I have a slip. It's cool, Ma. Like, we, you know, we're human. We aren't perfect. And let's see, you know, I do sometimes have a little bit of beet juice in my shake to give me some energy. And I make sure I eat every 2 hours. And whether that be a really thick shake or a snack, I have something on hand. And that really helps me with keeping up energy. And aminos, again, I take them throughout the day. So like I kind of use them as an energy pick me up. So I'll take 5 here, 5 there, 5 here, and you know, have some berries with it, have a quick snack, and I think, you know, that really keeps me charged. So yeah, yeah.
Beautiful. I love it. I love it. About how many aminos a day do you take, Annie?
I'd say I take about 10 to 15 a day right now. I mean, I feel like I need more energy these days with quarantine. You know, it's a little bit of a different world, and I don't get a lot of breaks. Dave is really amazing and gives me all the breaks that he can, but it's just him and I out here on the Oasis. So energy is really, and I'm sure for every mom right now, you guys, some of you have multiples, and there's a lot on us right now. And it's we need to be able to source energy from the good places though. So I keep my aminos around. You know, if you need some caffeine, I keep my beet juice around because it does have a little bit of yerba mate. And thank you, God, and thank you to Dave, because he does make all of the products with little bits of, like, you know, he puts just small amounts of everything, so that really having a couple cups of beet juice with that caffeine is not going to harm your baby if you're nursing, or harm your baby if you're pregnant. So it's a way to able to give yourself energy without, you know, like feeling that mom guilt that we just don't need any extra of. And I also wanted to, I didn't get to mention, really helping balance your hormones is another big part of the biomedic that's essential for us in postpartum. And also, like, why the green shake is really essential. It's really, you know, you can't control your hormones, but you can control what your body is intaking to help have your hormones be in good flux and flowing well, and producing all the right serotonin. And it's really easy for us to just eat what's around. And if those things aren't, you know, just like organic snacks and green shakes, then it is going to play a part in our moods and our baby blues and things like that. So I've been really, really grateful that the biomedic and those things have really helped play a big part, I think, in my hormonal balance.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. So I want to, you know, I didn't give you proper edification up at the top of the call, because I really did want to think about the fact that you've worked with children with autism for a very long time, Annie, and now you've created this foundation with Dave and Krista. And I would like to invite you back to come and talk more about that if you'd be willing, because I know that we have a very large community, and the work that you're doing is so important, and you've learned so much about how our products can support children with autism. So come back and be with us, Annie.
Yes, please. It'd be an honor.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for all that you've shared. I want to segue now to bring on Jodi Parker. We're talking about activism, ladies. So thank you again for your time, and so many blessings and so much love to you, Annie, and to Dave. And yeah, just sending you all the love and support, Mama, and all the moms that are, all the nursing moms that are on this call. You know, these are difficult times, and I just really want to give you permission to be as wonderful and as loving and as giving and as nourishing as you can be to yourself. It's so important, so important. And particularly if you're an activist, you know, not only are you dealing with what's going on in your house, but you're dealing with what's going on in the world. And so I'd love to invite my fellow council member, Jodi Parker, to come on. She had an idea this week, and so we love to go with Iris, don't we, Jodi?
We do. We love to go. So hello, everyone. Thank you, Stephanie. I'm so happy to see you guys, and thank you for being on camera so that I can see everyone's waving at me. It makes me feel special. This is my daughter, by the way. Say hi to Leora.
Hi. Hi, Leora.
You know, doing this with my kid on my lap. So I, for about 2 years at one point in my life, was a television news producer. And something that we learned in the news was you have to make sure that what you're talking about is relevant and is new, because it's called news, right? And so when we extended the Fierce Fridays, we wanted to make sure that we were talking about the hot topic of the week. And this week, the hot topic all over social media was around a hashtag save the children, save our children. Everybody was talking about it. And it really made me think, the thing is in our life, in America, 54% of American children are suffering from a chronic health condition. So literally 1 out of every 2 children you know in your life has a chronic health condition of some kind. And those numbers are from 2011. And as I was seeing this hashtag everywhere, I understand it's about trafficking and things that are terrible, things that are happening to children, and we need to be aware, and we need to have knowledge around that, and we need to make sure our children know how to be safe in their own lives. But that's about all we can do as moms in our suburban house to really help with that issue. But all the kids are suffering in so many ways right now, and I felt like I wanted people to feel empowered with what can you do, what can you really do to make a difference in the world right now, in your life, with the people around you. Where is your power besides giving knowledge to people? And so I started listing out all the different things that we can do in our everyday lives. And, you know, even Annie talking about taking biomedic, getting the glyphosate out, making sure people understand what does glyphosate do to your body and how does it hurt you? And there's so many different things around what kids are watching on TV and what they're eating and what lotion are they putting on their skin and all of these things. So we have got about 15 minutes left in this call, because we do have to close it out at exactly 4 minutes to the hour, because there's another call coming up on this line. So I just want to warn you all now, if I cut you off, that's why. But I'm going to start, but I want this to be popcorn style. I want you to come on and talk to me about what are you doing in your life that is making a difference in your life, in your children's life, in the lives around you, that we actually can do, where we can feel empowered and empower the people around us. So I'll start, and then we can go popcorn style, and you can just hop on with whatever it is you're passionate about. And I picked something that's kind of off the beaten path, so that it was something different for you guys all to hear. Most people don't know that anything you put on your skin is absorbed directly into your bloodstream within 26 seconds. Okay, so when you're putting your lotions and your shampoos and your cosmetics on, if they say do not ingest, you should not be putting it on your skin, because your body is absorbing it. And there's something called greenwashing out there. It's where companies will write organic or natural or eco-friendly or green or all of these buzzwords on their product, but personal care products are not regulated. So those words mean absolutely nothing, like nothing. So my tip for you today is to read the ingredients on whatever you're using. And in our home, if we can't eat it, we don't put it on our skin. You may not want to eat it. Like I use a lotion that it wouldn't taste good to eat it, but it wouldn't harm me if I ate it. So that's my point with that. And this could be an entire hour that we can talk about, but today is my tip is ignore the marketing and read the ingredients. And if you don't know what something is in those ingredients, probably don't want to slather it all over your skin. So let's hop on. I want you guys all to hop on and give me your tip of what you can do in the world to help change it for yourself and the people around you. And I'm sure we have lots of people with lots of passion. So who wants to jump in?
I would love
Hi.
to jump in. Oh,
Go ahead, Summer.
go ahead. Okay. I think the biggest thing that I found is to just really stay strong within yourself. Like I've been preaching, my son, his father got married, and I've been preaching to them the same thing of like what you put on your body, what you put in your body, what you put around your body is so, so important. And I'm so, it just brings me to tears to find this. And so I just haven't given up. And the stepmama wants to have a baby, right? And so she actually signed on with me and did the cleanse. She's doing the perium cleanse. It actually stemmed because my 6-year-old son wanted to do the cleanse himself because he wanted the experience and he's seeing mommy do it. And so, I work under 4 detox specialists, and I reached out, like, what is the most safe, kid-friendly version of this cleanse? And so then because, his other people kind of live in fear and they don't believe in all this stuff, I'm just like, it's just Summer's crazy ideas, they wanted to support him. So in that, and with her wanting to have a baby, she's doing the cleanse right now. And she's telling me these different desserts she's making with monk fruit and almond flour. And so just like, don't give up, and I'm so glad to find this, to have that support, because it's all these things I spout out, but I just feel so alone in it. So that would be my spiel, is just like, know the things, find support, and don't give up, because this is huge. They're going to markets and they're like buying so much more fresh food, and instead of Gatorade and just all the things. So yeah, thank you, mamas.
Hi, you guys. This is Marty. Can you hear me?
We can.
Hi,
Go for
Marty.
it.
We can hear you.
Okay. Well, hi. I just wanted to say, see this little guy here, Caleb? He wanted to say hi to everybody, and then we're going to tell you a special story. Want to say hi?
Hi.
Hi, Caleb.
So he's my grandson. He's 5. He is a Purium baby. His mom took a lot of Purium and did transformation right before he was born. And then little did she know she was going to conceive her first child. So anyways, we found out Caleb loves the creamy chocolate. And his sister, who is asleep in my arms, she cares for the cherry juice more. Caleb doesn't care for the cherry juice, and he loves the creamy chocolate. And she found something she loved the other day at Nona's house. And so I just wanted to share that. And also, I feel really empowered as a Nona and a mom, that we can change the world. And my daughter, I believe, is on today, and I don't know if she'll speak, but I'm just really proud of all the moms here, and I'm just really excited to I'm going into homeschooling. I'm an educator by trade. I work for Alaska Airlines during the day, and I'm going to be homeschooling my grandchild who's 5. So anyways, that's all. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Oh, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Caleb. Bye, Marty. And thank you for sharing your tears. I just want to say about tears for a moment here. Your tears are sacred, and they're welcome here. And they matter. You matter. Your emotions matter. And your emotions are what catalyze us towards doing what we know we must. So thank you for sharing them.
Hi. Did we just unmute and start talking? Or
Sarah, are you jumping on?
Yes, I was just gonna say I'm Sarah, and this is my daughter Monet. Hi. And we won the Million Mom movement last summer. We are so grateful, and we had both been thinking about doing detoxing, and then of course won this, and both of us went into. She did the 40-day parasite cleanse.
I was the only person to finish it, and the youngest.
And I did a 40-day detox, and Purium has been life-changing for us, for two people that we've always been on a plant-based and like a natural healing path. As a new mom, I chose not to vaccinate, and so we had a lot of not a lot of support, let's just say, and along our journey, and then my daughter in kindergarten her teachers told us that we should put her on Adderall. So I started to fight the school systems at that point, and we chose to homeschool. And I just want to say to all the mamas that are either choosing to homeschool now, or already homeschooling, or are questioning that, or are stressed out about the situation right now, go easy on yourself. I have been trying to explain to a lot of moms, even if for this entire year, you do not have one lesson plan, you do not have one scheduled activity, you let your children explore their creativity, explore nature, learn through play, being a part of nature, like all of this, they're gonna be great. As long as you don't give them a bunch of unsupervised internet time. But allow your children to be in that play, and just relax and let the play kind of come out, and try to not have a lot of stress around it. That's what I would say about that, because there were years that we didn't, what we would call unschool, and life was our education. And she's amazing, and she's a business owner, and she's loves to learn. And so yeah, that's what I would say about all of you that are going into homeschooling or thinking about that. Just like, be easy on yourselves. I love you all. If you ever need to reach out to me for inspiration, or just to be a listening ear, I am always a phone call away.
And me knowing from experience and being a kid, especially let your kid, if they are in love with something, let them dive in. I was in love with science, and so she just let me dive into science. And because I loved it so much, we didn't have to fight over, you need to do this, you need to do that, because I loved it. So I was just going to learn everything about it. Mm-hmm. And my best friend, he fell in love with the presidents. He learned every president and learned everything about Egypt. So he's like crazy smart because he learned exactly what he loved.
Yeah, follow your hearts, follow what you love to do, and I appreciate all of you mamas, what inspiration you are to us. Yes, we love you.
Thank you, Sarah. And I missed your daughter's name again. Write it in the chat. I'm sorry. We've got 5 minutes left, so I was just jumping in to give a time check, and I wanted to say, if you are homeschooling, throw a 1 up in the chat, ladies, so you guys can see how much support there are. I'm a homeschooling mom and have been. I have a sophomore in high school, so know that this is also a community that is going to support you in that. And who's next?
Lotus.
Hi.
Jodi, I'll jump on real quick and kind of piggybacks on what we've heard a little bit, and that's de-stressing, especially right now when so much is reaching a pinnacle in our world. And so we have a nightly routine that I would love to share, because bedtimes can be, bedtimes. And so we do apothecary every night. I have a 12-year-old and a 9-year-old, and we do apothecary each night, and then we go to bed. And during the 20 minutes about that it takes to have that apothecary kick in, I do foot rubs for each of my boys, sometimes with essential oils and tropic oil that Annie mentioned, our coconut oil from Purium. And we do an affirmation. So I'd love to share with you the affirmation we use. It's 2 parts. Part 1 is, anything that is not mine I return to sender with consciousness and love, and we breathe. And part 2 is anything of mine which remains, I give to God in exchange for wisdom, love, strength, and peace beyond all understanding. And we breathe. And I'll tell you, in the 15 to 20 minutes that it takes for that bedtime, those boys are at peace. They've released what's unnecessary to hold on to from their day. They're prepared for rest, and they wake up engaged and ready for what's fresh and new. So I hope that blesses all of you. It certainly blesses us.
We've got time for one more share. Who's going to be it?
I would love to do it.
Lotus, oh, I'm sorry, Lotus has been trying to get on.
It's okay. I'll make it really brief. I just wanted to talk on to how I am contributing and helping with as much as I can around me in my real time. So, yeah, I'm coming from an experience, firsthand experience of being unfortunately a subject of neglect as an infant, and I was put for adoption at age 5. But I was deeply malnourished. I wasn't breastfed. Yeah, it caused a whole lot of mental imbalances, you know, hormonal imbalances, etc., etc. It took me years and years and years to discover what that core issue was, and it truly is nutrition based. From the moment you're developing in your fetus to your waking life now as an adult, you know. So yeah, so I kind of shifted and transformed my life, my own life, took my power back into my own hands. And I have 2 kids. My first was I was also kind of misguided, and I ended up, you know, having C-section and not having the ideal birth experience. And my body was affected by that experience. I had gotten like a lot of stress reactions and this and that, and even more hormonal imbalances, psychosis, all of this stuff. It was a really horrible experience. This is 6 years ago with my firstborn. So it took a lot of homework and a lot of I guess action to take the action back into my own hands, give myself my own power back, and to share with her. I ended up having and using Miriam for the past year, pretty consistent with me. And with her, I ended up having like
Just having a problem with your mic, Lotus. It's not as clear as I'd like it to be. I also want to say there's one other gal that wants to speak. So
yeah. That's fine. I'm rambling.
Thank you.
Should I hop back on, or was it somebody else?
Yes,
So
please.
go for Michelle really quickly, and then we'll wrap up.
Yeah, no problem. You know, my son is 19 now and a sophomore in college. And when we used to grocery shop when he was little, I told him if he could read it and we knew what it was, we could have it. Otherwise, we would just stick to what was fresh and clean. And so now that he's older, you know, he's moving out of the house, he's going to college, and you know, there's not as much input onto his life. And so I just sent him to college with a core 4 because he likes protein shakes and he works out. And at least I know that even though he's eating off the buffet and he's eating from those restaurants in the cafeteria at college, that he's getting that staple nutrition, and he's having, you know, he's having that foundation so that I feel better about just, you know, sending him out there and the kinds of choices he might be making on his own, or that are being, you know, the only choices he has from the colleges, which are not, you know, sustainable that we know. So that was just my quick share. So kind of looking ahead into the future with college age children, and they don't necessarily stick to what we instill in them, at least not at this stage of their life. Being able to have something to give him to go with really helps my heart. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for letting me share.
Beautiful. Thanks, Jodi. I think we should do this again. This was really good. We all have so many amazing things to share. We'll do this again. Thank you all for being with us. We're so grateful to have you in this community. Please invite 2 friends to come and be with us next Friday. We have some amazing Zooms that we're preparing for you. We love you. We're so grateful for you. Many blessings to everyone. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Love you.